channel. My name's Tina, also known as Little T. And today I wanted to talk about health, especially health as you are aging. Coming up in a couple of months, I will turn 60 years old. And I can't even believe I'm saying that out loud because it doesn't even seem real. And when Brian and I moved here, we took off a few months from work. He knew that eventually one of us was going to go back to work. He took that initiative and he landed a job at Western Kentucky University in the Career Services Department, doing what he had done 20 years ago at Oklahoma State University. One thing about that job is that we were super blessed to have great benefits, and one of those benefits is really good health insurance. We are taking part in the program that is called Vitality, and that is an incentive to remain healthy or even gain better health through exercise, nutrition, visiting doctors, dentists, keeping up with tests and blood work and things like that. And if you do so, and if you earn these certain number of points, you each month will have a lower payment on your health insurance. So Brian and I have been really active, doing all we can to keep up with those points and make sure that we have a lower cost health insurance. One of the things that I did in February was to schedule an appointment with a brand new doctor. Since we just moved here last summer, I had to establish a new doctor, and I did that. I did a complete blood workup to get all of the values necessary. I hadn't done that in several years. And I got some news back that I wasn't really pleased about, especially in the cholesterol and other lipids category. So the doctor and I discussed it. She said because of how I eat, that I exercise, I'm not overweight, I don't smoke. She said it definitely has to be related to family. My mom had really high cholesterol. I believe my grandma did too. And so I've just had to accept that I'm going to need to take a small pill to help put my cholesterol under control. Doing so has really been something new for me to accept, and many of you that may follow me know from the classes that I taught at Six Lemon Bakehouse, one of the reasons that I adopted a plant-based diet for Brian and myself was to help us as we age to maintain the best health that we can without becoming dependent on pharmaceuticals or other aids to help us have a long health span. Accepting that I do need to go onto a statin has really gone over the line from what I would choose to do. If I had my choice in the matter, I wouldn't take any medication at all and just maybe take some vitamins and things like that to stay healthy. But a lot of people on my dad's side of my family had strokes. Hardening of the arteries is what they called it back in my grandparents' day. And I just have to realize that it's part of my genetics. Something that I cannot really change with my lifestyle. I can help prevent maybe it from getting really bad, but I'm needing that extra boost from a pharmaceutical. And I think back to maybe the 70s or 80s when my grandparents were going through some tough times with some of those health issues. Perhaps if they had had this medication available back then to them, they wouldn't have perhaps died from a stroke or other things having to do with hardening of the arteries or heart issues. Hold on one second. And one of those tests that I needed to follow up on after having a scan last summer, and one of those tests that I needed to have done following up on a scan that I had last summer in Oklahoma right before we moved was an ultrasound on my thyroid because some nodules were detected, and also on my spleen because there was a possible aneurysm on one of the spleen's arteries. So just last week I had ultrasounds on both of those, and the nurse called me last night and said the spleen's completely healthy. That was great news. And that on my thyroid I have goiter. I've only looked up on the internet what goiter might possibly be, how I got it, how it's developed, and I have a follow-up appointment with my doctor in April to also evaluate how the statin is working on my cholesterol, my triglycerides, and my LDL numbers. So I'll find out more details then. But once again, it's one of those things where I'm like, I feel like I'm trying to live my healthiest life, And yet there are things going on in my body as I age that need to be checked out and tested with ultrasounds or scans or whatever they might be. I want to continue to live a healthy, long lifespan. I like to call it a health span. And I will accept with a little bit of So this is just a little update. I'll show you also an app that I use. It's called Wonder. It's another program that's offered through Western Kentucky University. And I'll show you a little bit on my computer. You'll be able to see as I click through on the screens some of the things that are available there as far as goal setting, webinars you can watch, courses. I'm actually taking a couple of nutrition courses on there. And it's just all a part of the package. So aging has its ups and downs. I'm learning that as we go along. 60 is just right around the corner, and I want to go into it with a great attitude, as healthy as I can be. And whether that includes taking a pharmaceutical or not, I'm just going to have to accept that's how life is right now. I'll still keep doing my best in all the areas that I have control over, and that means getting out the door and exercising every day, choosing the healthiest foods that I can to fix for Brian and myself, and just keeping a good positive attitude. Thanks for watching. If you would like to, give a thumbs up on this video. You can hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you'll know every time we put out a new video. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.